You are listening to the Dental Business Mastery podcast, where we discuss insights and strategies for your successful dental practice. There are also interviews with key people in the industry who have advice and services to help you and your team achieve great success. Welcome to this episode of the Dental Business Mastery podcast. I'm Julie Parker and I've got a returning guest, Rochelle Fisher of Dental Assisting and Beyond. Welcome.
Thank you.
The second part of our conversation is four-handed dentistry. There is a fantastic dentist I've been in communication with in rural Victoria, and when I was with him at a workshop by the ADAVB, we're talking about dental assisting and how can we keep great dental assistants in the profession? How can we attract more of them? And he had one big answer. He had a number of great ideas. One of his big ones was, though, make sure everyone's trained in four-handed. That's what makes dental assisting so much more fulfilling. Would you agree?
110. If you told me tomorrow I had to sit there at the side of a dentist and I'm going to say the word just hold my suction and not do anything else, and it's my bugbearer when dentists just say, oh, just do it myself. Again, it goes back to you are holding that other individual back from growth. You're holding yourself back from being a beautiful team. But what you are doing is you're setting that DA up for failure, because they're not going to know their instrumentation. They're going to get bored. And they're just not going to be as aware of what to prepare and the procedure if they're not in it with you as a team. And you know, my Dental Assisting and Beyond, underneath it, it has the team approach, because we are a team, whether it is just dentist and dental assistant. And so I was trained four-handed, so I don't know any different. And when I do work with dentists that are not four-handed, I say to them, I'll teach you. And they're like, what? I'm like, normally it's a 2-week thing. So I'm like, you've got to give me 2 weeks because it's going to be a bit clunky and you're going to want to pass things. And I'm going to be like, put it down. I'm picking it up. Obviously not in front of the patient afterwards in their feedback. So it works both ways, but give me 2 weeks and you will. And this happened with a dentist in Sydney who was 60. Andrew, loved him to bits. And Andrew wasn't working four-handed. And he'd worked in England, so I know he probably had at some stage. And he just said, oh, I don't want to do it, Rochelle. And I said, look, Andrew, it's going to be clunky at first. You're doing something different, but give me 2 weeks. If you don't like it after 2 weeks, I will never mention it again. What happened when I left? I won't work with a dentist that's not working for Then you create another problem, but you know. And another key thing now, so it's not just keeping the DA interested, it's the efficiency, it's how a patient feels in the chair when they're working like this beautiful oiled machine, or, you know, the Formula One race team of just changing the tires and everyone knows their role and what they're doing. That patient's level of anxiety and their nervous system is going to go from here, because now they've got this, they can feel the trust in these two people. Remember, we can't see energy, but we can feel it all the time. So your patient's anxiety levels are going to go down, the efficiency. So you will, even though it's going to take a little bit longer when you get started, like anything, it will shave down minutes, if not hours, off your week. Because you are not working faster, you are working efficiently together. Then the other big thing nowadays, what's every dentist wearing, or every clinician? What are they wearing?
The loops.
So again, in my training, I've got a pair of loops that I get every DA putting them on. And then I say, right, lift your head, put back down. What happens? Oh, I have to complete the refocus. Every time the dentist is doing that, they're stopping to refocus. Count how many minutes that is that they're doing that. And then we're going to an ergonomic issue as well. And it's like, DAs, you can see all this. The dentist sees this. So again, in all my training, Julie, I've got physical props and things, tangible things, so they can see. It's not a slide going, this is what happens, da da da. It's like, let's get in there. I get all the mannequin heads out and I get them working together and like work. And some people naturally have that dexterity more than others. I'm like, okay, now you're going to have buddies. They're going to be your buddy. They will teach you. They will mentor you in the house, because I'm only here for one day. You know, we do have videos on it, but there is nothing like getting in a practice. And I've had practices before going, can you just train the DAs? I'm like, the dentists have to be on board with it. And they
Absolutely
have to understand the key concept. And again, and I know how hard it is closing down an afternoon or a full day to do training, but if you've got the dentist on board as well, it's showing that camaraderie. It's showing everyone in this practice cares about each other, and we're all learning together and we're all in it together. And every surgery is set up differently. So, you know, you're then doing the feedback as we're going, well, how are we going to set it up in this surgery? Come on, this is your day. You talk to me. You tell me how they like things, what they don't like. And so I just think everyone should be working four-handed. It should just be, that should just be a thing that everyone does. And the dentists that say, oh, it's just easier if I do it. Of course it is. Of course it's easier if you just do it, but it's not helping anyone long term, and you're not teaching them.
Can you imagine having a child and raising that child, making their bed, doing their laundry, feeding them, bathing them, everything until they're 25 years old, saying, oh, it's just easier for me to do it.
I think there's a film, isn't there, Coming to America, with Eddie Murphy, and he's stood there being bathed. I think it was like the prince or something, wasn't it? But yeah, you're right. It's like when you see parents doing everything for their children, it's like you're not setting them up. You need to teach. This is how you tie your shoelace. This is how you cook dinner. This is how you budget the week money wise. So,
and when you were talking about it, because that's a big fact with all dental team training, that it costs the amount of money to get the Rochelle Fishers in. It costs the downtime in the book, that we're not actually having income at that time. I'm still paying the staff to be there, even though they're not seeing patients. And associate dentists are like, well, I don't own this practice, but now I'm not going to earn money during that time as well. So there are absolutely obvious drawbacks to putting the time aside to get this work done. However, I really challenge everyone out there that if you're intrigued by any of these sort of concepts or these kind of trainings that are available out and about, that force yourself to go through all the benefits as well. Make a proper decision. Don't just put your hook in the drawback and go, no, that's not going to be for us. Let's list, just with four-handed dentistry, for example, all of the benefits. You've got a better working relationship with the other person. If finances speak to you, you are more efficient in the room, and therefore, over the expanse of time, you are making that money back and then adding more and more profitability into your business. Your recruitment is easier because you can start saying, we do four-handed dentistry here. So you are attracting only dental assistants who are at that level. And they're coming in, they're hitting the ground running. They've got everything down pat. We've got from the infection control prospect as well, that infection control is more effective with four-handed dentistry. The more that the dentist's hands are the ones that are in the mouth. And so we have to try to keep them in the mouth, not outside the mouth. As much as possible. But then on top of all of that as well, as you said, with ergonomics, the Aniko Ball, when she talks about the impact of poor ergonomics in the surgery on the dentist's body, we're talking about chronic pain that can go on forever for that person. And again, this dentist in Ballarat that I've been speaking with, he is 84, I think now. but he's still working. And I looked at his surgery and he has set it up so it's highly ergonomic. And he said, because I knew decades ago that if I didn't look after my body, it'd be my body that would stop me from working, not my choice. And so I would really encourage people, yes, it is a part of our brain that will look at opportunities and think of all the reasons why it won't work, all the drawbacks. But it's the more creative part of our brain where we have to flip that over and say, yes, I'm going to write down the drawback list so I can get it out of my system and not keep having my hook in it. Now I'm going to force myself to go through all the benefits. And I tell you, the benefits of four-handed dentistry are so overwhelming to me and you that it becomes an easy decision. I just have to close my day for half a day or a day, my practice for a day, and we do that once, and all of a sudden we start to reap the reward for such a long time after.
And again, I'm 45 years old. I've done this nearly 30 years of my life, and I am strong. And you have to be physically fit to look after a dentist, a patient, and again, you see these bad habits of people like this or holding the suction. And I'm like, you're 20 years old. You can hold your suction like that, but you can't hold your suction like that when you're 45 years old. Like, the little bad habits that are creeping in now, you need to reel them back. And again, just like the dentist had said, he knew his body would give out before he would, and I think if you are looking at it from a financial point of view in a practice, just have a look how many sick days your staff have had because they've got a bad back or they're going to the physio. Have a look at that and then add that price up.
Yeah. And it's interesting, how many days off have they had just because they don't feel like coming into work today because it's kind of boring.
Yeah, or again, going back to the feedback, because they had a really stressful day and they're scared of working with someone.
Yeah.
Because on my VIP yesterday, I have monthly meetings with my VIP. And one of the things was, I've got a girl and she's scared of working with this dentist, but this dentist is lovely. But someone in the practice has obviously said, oh, Julie did this thing to me and I don't like, and now a younger person's gone, oh, I'm really scared of working with them. And that's what we worked through yesterday. But going back to the four-handed a little bit, I think that when companies are selling loops, so when they're selling their headgear, they should sell a four-handed ergonomic course, whether it's with myself or it's with Annika, because Annika is absolutely amazing. So I go to her daughter's yoga classes. So we're both, yeah. But actually say, we're selling you these glasses, these loops, but also with that, we want to sell you how to work four-handed, because that's going to give you what you need to work efficiently with these loops on. Otherwise, you're lifting up, you're doing that, and that's not ergonomically efficient. So really, the loop companies should be selling this as a package. Buy our loops and someone will come out, and you don't even have to close your practice, but maybe you just have some patients in that afternoon that will be willing to have someone talk and explain things,
Yeah, absolutely. So what does your training in four-handed dentistry, when you go on site with a practice, what does that look like for people?
I normally do, every practice can be different. It depends what level they're at. It depends how big their practice is. It depends, is it just a dentist and a DA working solely together? Is it a group of clinicians and they rotate their DAs? So we really tailor it first to meet the need of that clinic. Are all your chairs the same? Are they different? Do you have a left-handed dentist? So we ask all those questions before we even go in. But normally I do a good hour lecture on the theory and, again, communication, because you've got to communicate you've got to have the feedback when you're doing four-handed. Ergonomic stretching, then, DAs, getting them to, when they walk into a surgery, because they might be in a different surgery every day, What do you do when you loan someone your car and you get it back? What's the first thing you do, Julie, when you've loaned someone your car and you get it back? What do you do?
I go in and double check they haven't left me with no petrol.
Yeah, so that's stocking your room. But what's the other thing you do? If I've driven your car, what would be the first thing you're doing in that car?
Putting the
Height-wise.
seat back to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, changing the chairs. The DAs go into rooms and they don't change the chair. So they just sit on a chair and they don't design it to their height or their structure. So we really break down all those things. So we get them thinking like that. And then we go into the rooms. I put all the mannequins in the rooms. I put some glitter dust in the mouth as well, so they can see like how aerosols travel as well. So we're trying to that is, like you said, infection control wise, is a reason why we're trying to control it. You know, yes, we can prevent some of it, but you can't prevent an aerosol. So we have to control the aerosol. So getting them to look at all those things. And then if there are a few DAs and clinicians, we get them all switching over. When I see someone is naturally quite dexterous and good at it, I'll get them in another room, and then it's kind of follow on the chain. And by the end of the sort of morning, everyone's working in different rooms and doing fillings, and we've got the mannequins set up so the dentist can even drill a filling and do a filling on the patient.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So we really want hands-on, and it's that hour in the morning of the kind of theory and setting them up for the feedback.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Setting them up. And I had one DA, and she's probably similar age to me, and she wanted to use a right hand for everything. And when you use your right hand for everything, you're crossing over, and it's like you've got to use your left hand because you're a clock. And so you're 9 o'clock, you're 3 o'clock, and that's how you've got to work. So your 3 o'clock can't go into your 9 o'clock. And in the end, I said, right, I want your right hand behind your back. You sit on your right hand, you know. But if I'd have just gone in, Julie, and half an hour afterwards, I'm going, Julie, sit on your right hand. Sit on your right hand. Don't use that right hand. I'm going to be like, who is this person? You've been with me all morning. I'm like, go on. I need you to sit on that hand, because we need to train your brain to only do left. And while the person in the chair is the mannequin, and Bruce, my mannequin head, is not going to say anything, you know, but you've got to set people up for that. Of like, I'm going to give you feedback, and it's going to be a bit boot campy in there, because we've only got a set amount of time.
Yeah.
And yes, they can do a morning four-handed with me. They can do a full day. So sometimes then we'll do surgical in the afternoon. Again, when it's in clinic, I really tailor it. It might be that I go in and do an observation morning and just watch how everyone's working, because then you really see the strengths, and then you see the areas that, like, okay, this is what we've really got to work on today. And set them up for that. Now, if they have done four-handed, normally they will get DA Essentials, which has got a lot of four-handed in it. So they have got an online module to keep learning a little bit, just to set them up. The other really big thing that I am moving towards now, so anyone is more than welcome to have a day's training with me, or even if you can't do the day's training, you can get on the online modules and just buy them. But what I've now really created, we used to have DAB Academy, which now we just sell it as an online platform. So I really wanted a point of difference if I'm doing the hybrid. So now it's the DAB VIP, and they are with me for an entire year. I will be in their clinic minimum of 2 times in that year, but every month they get a meeting with me, whether it's the manager, a dentist, a DA that's starting, and we structure these meetings. And a lot of the time it's with the dentist, it's with the owners, and I'm saying, this is what you need to be doing, like, we'll implement this. And they have their very own VIP platform, so no other practice is on it. It's all dedicated to them, so they can write comments in. And basically, I'm just there with them for the entire year. And we will, if you might call me Julie and say, Rochelle's really struggling with feedback, bring her to me. I'll nurture her. I'll talk to her about it,
Wonderful.
What has
Wonderful.
happened? What is your limiting belief that you can't have feedback? And it'll be because as a 7-year-old Julie, Mum used to tell you things and it made you feel like that. And now if anyone tells you you're doing something wrong because your mum wanted you to be perfect, it's never about the dental practice. It's about what your parents did to you.
It's all based in so much of what we unhelpful responses are based in a fear of being seen as insufficient.
Yeah. So I've got this big thing, the trophy cabinet. So my brother, oh my goodness, I'm sharing this now on a podcast. Okay. So my brother was an amazing sports person as a kid. He had in our dining room a big cabinet and it was full of trophies, full of football and rugby trophies. Couldn't make his mind up which he wanted to do because he was good at both. I never got one trophy because I wasn't that kid. And I just used to stand and look at these trophies and always feel like that. Now I've got my own little trophy. I kind of hide away. But everything of me feeling insignificant or not good enough always went back to the trophy cabinet. Always went back to this tiny little girl with her big brother. Always went back to the trophy cabinet. So I know my little button of the trophy cabinet, and my best friend Emily, if we're unpacking things, she goes, "Is that a trophy cabinet moment?" I'm like, "It is."
I love it.
It is.
That is brilliant. That's brilliant.
No one can ever fix that for me. I don't need it to be fixed. I just need to be aware of, I know my trigger. Yeah.
That's right. And awareness is the first step for growth.
Yeah.
You just being aware of it. Now, as a little girl, that trophy cabinet meant that you weren't successful. But now as an adult, if I said, "Oh, but your brother's earned a whole bunch of trophies, you can't be successful," you'd say, "Bullshit." It doesn't mean that at all. And so we just layer in our own adult discernment and we shift the meaning behind it, and it no longer has to be that trigger. And that's what you help dental assistants do as well when they're young and growing and still developing their self-awareness, helping them to see and be aware of that. And I am so impressed with the amount of support that you do offer your clients and your DAs over such a long period of time. And when you think about, as clinicians out there, you're doing further learning courses in your profession clinically, and you think about how that's helped you progress. Think of all the ways that has helped you progress, not just in doing the great crown, doing the great implant, but helped you progress in always having a learning mindset, an open mindset, a growth mindset, and the networking that you do at those sort of events as well, and how it impacts your rest of your life when you are putting yourself in that headspace. Do the same for the dental assistants. Have a group of dental assistants that are constantly learning and growing and developing as part of your team. And when we do surveys of what makes team members happy, always within the first certainly 5, sometimes the top 3, one of those things is I get the opportunity to keep growing here, to keep learning. There's training here.
Yeah, the ceiling keeps moving. Yeah, and that's where we've got to with VIP really now. It's not for every practice, and I might say you're not ready for VIP, Julie. Your team is not ready for VIP because I want you to show up every month. I want you to be committed. I want you to have the feedback. I want you to dive in. And then everyone on that platform, I go in every month and I can see who's doing training modules. I can see who's not. And then I'm giving that to the manager and being like, "Hey, so Julie's not been on. Why is that? Has anyone even given her a login? Does Julie need some little cheerleader time with me?" And it's that real nurturing a practice. And the VIP actually came from, last year I met the most amazing personal coach, as in like a PT. And I've probably said this story before on other things. For years I've been wanting to do pull-ups and chin-ups. I've just wanted to be that girl that can rock up to a gym and do a chin-up. and look cool, right? It's all about looking cool. It's actually about grip strength as well. Yeah. But
Your version of a trophy.
It's just about looking cool. It's about grip strength. It's about a lot of things. It's about upper body. And I tried for years, and I joined gyms, and I'd done different things, and nothing was working. And then I met DeAndre, and DeAndre has a very small gym, and he doesn't let everyone into his gym because you have to show up. You have to be as dedicated to him as he is to your clients. And he tells you all this. Is like, I don't take excuses. If you're having a bad day, we talk about it, and he'll gauge things, but sometimes it's just like, just get on and do it. And he structures things so differently. And he's like, to get you there, these are the exercises that you need to be doing. And I remember the first time I almost got my first chin up, and he said, right, you cannot do another one for 3 weeks. I'm like, what? And he said, no, because you have destroyed your nervous system now. He said, we'll keep doing all the other little training bits to strengthen these parts of your body, but you cannot do another one for 3 weeks. You know how hard that was for me? But I'm like, why would a coach say that? But I listened to him. And then in the 3 weeks, I just popped straight up. But if you didn't show up to one of his classes, he would have been knocking on your door. Like, it was that level of dedication. And I'm like, how can I now bring that into the DAB Academy? How can I have this lovely little portal of like individual practices that I'm saying, you are my VIP clients, night or day? Like, you can message me if you have a problem, and I'm going to nurture you, and I'm going to get you to where you want to be as a team. Because a lot of them have got DAs that have not even got the Circ 3. So there's trainees, and no one's given them the evidence-based things they need. So having me come in, and then I'm saying, right, okay, let's make a protocol. Julie, I'll make a protocol with you now. And I'm typing it out. And then the next minute, because of the wonderful skills of AI, we've given that in your practice. And then you have it in this beautiful VIP portal that all your modules are there, all your policies and procedures, and then everyone can go in and print things off. So I'm giving them this beautiful curated training platform, but I will be going into the practice as well.
It's really the difference between wanting to share your information as a consultant. That's not where your passion lies. Your passion is, no, the people have to shift and change.
Yeah.
The impact on the individual, just like your PT.
Yeah.
And what was his name?
DeAndre.
So you're going all DeAndre on people. You're like, no, it's not good enough that I'm just giving you the information. I am going to be DeAndre in your life. You are going to learn this stuff. I'm going to help you get over whatever hurdles to get there.
Yeah. And the first time I really wanted to do the monkey bars, and the monkey bars at that gym, like they're high. They're high, okay? Anyone listening don't know me, I'm like 5'1", so they're really high. Quite wide.
She's little.
And he just flies across them like a little monkey, and he's like, right, okay, now your turn. I'm like, I can't do that. They're too far apart. My arms are too short. And he's like, no. And then I'm like, oh, well, I've just got this thing, and like, I'm scared of letting go. And he went, Rochelle, shut up, get up there and swing. And he said, it's all in your hip. Because I'm like, I've got fear of letting go. And he's just like, get up there. And now I can go on the monkey bars, and I can go back and forth. And the day that I got all the way to the end actually was a day that I was having a really bad day in business, and everything felt defeated. And that day just said to me, you needed this win more than anything. Today was the day that had to be the day you got across. And it wasn't just about the monkey bars. It's about that, like, just going for it. And what if I fall? You know, he would have caught me.
Yeah, that's right. We're not talking 30 meters here. Yeah.
But it's that I want the DeAndre approach to, yes, I'm more than happy to go in practices and give them some training. But my moving forward is this real VIP. I'm not even going to call it a luxury service. But this service of when I'm looking at how my academy used to be, and I'd be like, you've got 2 in-person trainings and then you've got the online platform. And I'd kind of just let them go. And I'm like, no, to grow just like at a gym, you need your DeAndre there every step of the way going, come on, you're slacking off a little bit and get in there and keep going. So that's why I was really like the VIP needs to be this check-in, especially when you're doing four-handed, because the minute it gets tricky, we just go back to, it's okay. We'll just do it as is today.
So much of life is pushing through our resistance to get to the next step, isn't it? And then life changes at the next step. So develop that as part of the way you not just approach dental assisting, but your life as well. That, the resistance doesn't mean you shouldn't do this. The resistance means that this is how you build resilience. I've got to get over this because I need to become more resilient because I want to be better.
And I know I just had a quick conversation with you before you started, and that's my LinkedIn blog this week. Is I was stood in the supermarket and I looked at the blueberries, and this goes to practices with finance as well. I looked at the blueberries and there was $6.50, and I was like, because I'm from Yorkshire and I'm a little bit of a penny pincher sometimes. I'm like, do I really need these blueberries at $6.50 for a punnet? And then the other thing in my head was, if I was in the chocolate bar aisle now and I saw a chocolate bar of $10, I would not bat an eyelid. And I know, because I'm a grown-up, I know the fundamental difference between that quick sugar dopamine hit and the benefits of those blueberries. But at the time, I was like, reluctant. And I feel that's what it's like in a dental practice as well. It's like, we know the training's good. We know it's beneficial. But the shiny new sparkling scanner is that initial dopamine hit, that new piece of equipment. But you can have all the sparkling equipment that you want in a practice. If you've not got the people being able to use it correctly and do it properly, it's not going to work.
Yeah, that's it. It's the smart choice. We've got to do the smart choice. There's always room for chocolate, but we can't just not buy the blueberries. We have to still buy the blueberries. Well, Rochelle, this has been magnificent. When people listen to this, I'm sure that they're going to want to jump onto your website and find out more about how you can help their practices. What's their best next step?
Their best next step is go onto my website and there's a contact us page. Just put your details in there and then I will email you. When I email you, I normally call you as well, just in case the email goes in spam or something. And then we go from there. We have a meeting, or if you prefer emails, we just go back and forth. But I love a phone call and just to dive a little bit deeper and find out what you need as a practice. And if anyone does want to really push their practice to the next level and come and join on my VIP, if they've listened to your podcast, I will give them 3 months for free. So they'll get 15 months of working with me instead of 12.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
Target is the best. That's your code.
That's it. It's another trophy in my case. And so dental assisting and beyond, Rochelle Fisher. Look her up. All the links will be in the show notes. Rochelle, until next time, thank you so very much.
Thank you so much for having me, Julie. I just love being able to talk to you and just our brains just kind of burst together. I love that. So thank you so much for having me on the show. And you can follow me on Instagram as well. I do lots of tips and tricks on Instagram, and I do have a free tip of the week. You just have to subscribe to my email. So thank you.
Perfect. Perfectly done. Wonderful, wonderful. I'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this podcast, then I encourage you to head over to dentalbusinessmastery.com.au. You will find all the information that you need if you would like to gain our assistance in helping you and your team achieve great success. If you would like to find out more, you can also email us directly at info@dentalbusinessmastery.com.au. Thanks so much for listening.